Wakio, and as usual, I'm joined by Pamina Swainaina, and today we're going to be looking at a case study of our President, William Ruto, and his leadership qualities. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
So Pamina, looking at this topic,
yes,
you're a leader yourself.
yes.
What do you think is the leadership style of our President, William Ruto?
Yeah, so the topic, the case study is quite timely, considering that come 13th of September 2022, um, the president-elect is going now to be formally declared as the president of Kenya. Yeah, but I don't want us to focus on the politics. So my response is on William Ruto as a leader, not as a politician. So I don't want you to comment and talk about and say me I'm Azimio or me I'm from Kenya Kwanza. No, no, no. It's not about politics. It's about the man as a leader. So then, having clarified that, let's look first at what is leadership style. When someone hears of the word leadership style, what does it mean? And for me, when you talk about leadership style, is a leadership approach. What approach does the leader use whenever they're interacting, engaging, and motivating with their followers? Because you cannot be a leader if you don't have followers. So the key word here being the approach that someone uses. And I'm sure the ones who are watching this video, this is not the first time they've heard of leadership styles, and there are many styles when it comes to leadership. For example, there's what we call as democratic. So someone who's democratic is someone who gives the followers or the people who report to them space to do their work without much interference. And if we can confine ourselves to politics, Mwai Kibaki really came out as a gentleman, as someone who was able to give you space to do what was required of you. The other leadership style commonly known is the authoritative or even dictatorship kind of leadership. And this one is, it's my way or the highway. And a good example of politics, way back, the first president, President Jomo Kenyatta, and even the second president, Moi, during their time, they were more known for that kind of leadership style. And I guess maybe at that time it was relevant because the country was quite young and there was no constitution which made them, required them to consult or such kind of thing. Yeah. So coming back home now to where we are now as of 2022, when you're discussing this topic as of today, the way I have seen, because I don't know William Ruto at a personal level. The much I know about him is from what I watch in the TV. I would say for me, I've picked two leadership styles. And the first one is autocratic. And when you talk about someone whose leadership style is autocratic, this is someone who's able to set clear goals and vision for the followers. And for me, the reason why I'm bringing this up is way back in 2017, he said he wants to run to be the president of this country. And you can imagine him saying that, and he's a vice president, and the traditional way that we've known of vice president is they are quiet, they don't speak of their ambition, and they have to wait, until the boss says, okay, now I'm picking on you, I want you now to come and inherit this seat or to be my successor. So him, and he wasn't afraid. And so he came to the Central Province, Rift Valley, all over the country, being able to sell himself and the ideas that he had. And closely related to that, the second leadership style, which I attribute to him, is the transformative leadership style. And again, it's closely related to the autocratic in the sense, again, it's about the vision. And if you look at the way he carried his politics, there was all this high hustler movement where he was talking about empowering the mama bogas, the border borders, and creating a vision, a new vision where people could look up to and aspire and say, wow, yeah, we can make it, despite coming from the machinani and, despite you being a nobody. In fact, he calls himself a chicken seller, and look at where he is. Yeah, so that vision really, and I'm sure that's why people elected him as the president, because they were able to relate. Even you way back, I'm sure, Cindy, you can look back at a time where you looked upon other people and you wondered, can I really make it? So if you have someone, a leader, telling you, indeed it's possible, And here I am. I have proof. You know, I've risen along the ranks despite my humble background. Yeah. So for me, in terms of leadership style, that's in my own words, based on what I see. Again, like I said, I'm not a political commentator. I'm just looking at it from the leadership aspect and from what we see on the TV. That's how it comes across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's been running against Honorable Raila Odinga.
Yes.
Do you think there are some leadership qualities he can borrow from Raila?
Yes, and I believe there is, and this does not just apply to Ruto. This applies to anyone who's watching this video. And for me, Baba, as we fondly call him, for me, one of the leadership style that really stands out is the servant leadership aspect, where as a leader, you sacrifice yourself for your team. And it's quite powerful because people will do and die for you. Why? Because the other leadership style, they appeal to the mind, to the logic. Because if you vision, what is it about vision? Vision is how am I going to benefit? But when it comes now to the servant form of leadership style, it appeals to the heart. And that is why you'll agree with me. Baba, the people who follow Baba, they are fanatics. They'll do anything. You know, if he requires them to go to Kasarani will be full. If he goes to Kibera, he'll also be full. So that trait whereby you're able to really appeal to the people's hearts and people are able to look up to you, and it's really a powerful one. But that will not just happen automatic. It's because of standing up for people. So what Baba has done, especially for the last, I would say, until now, the handshake, where some people said, okay, he became part of the system. But before then, you'll agree with me that we were looking at him as someone who can be able to defend other people's rights and someone who's out there for the common mwananchi, and he cares and loves them. And I think all of us, that's something we can be able to borrow from him, knowing that when we stand up for others, when people see that it's not just about our interest, but also their interest, then we're able to win over their hearts and minds. Yeah.
And when we come now to the workplace, the managers and leaders who
Yes.
are supposed to influence and motivate people,
Yes.
what should they consider before considering a leadership style?
Yeah. So as we saw in the beginning, leadership style, it should be varied. And so, in fact, they say the best leadership style is a situational style. Why? Because different styles you call for you to apply different leadership style. So for me, the starting point is being able to know yourself. So being able to know, when I mean determine, being able to know yourself is determine what is your dominant leadership style. And this one, first look at your personality. So you find if you're easygoing, relaxed person, you probably tend to be such kind of a leader. If you're this strict person, you know, a perfectionist, again, more or less, that's the kind of leadership style that you're going to apply. Yeah. So when you know yourself, then it's not enough for you to just know yourself. Then the second step is then get to know your employees, your followers as such. Why? Because then you should be able to adapt your leadership style to suit the person that you are leading. For example, I cannot read the same way a 50-year-old woman or 50-year-old man at my age, because I'm young, I'm not 50. I hope it's evident I'm not 50. I wouldn't use the same leadership style reading a 50 or man or woman with someone younger. I would have to vary the leadership style. Yeah. I wouldn't apply the same leadership style with an employee who has worked with me for 5 years, whereby we already have an understanding. I know the quality of their work. The leadership style I use will be very different from someone who's only worked for me for a month. The one who's worked for me for a month, it will be more instructional, telling them, this is what I expect you to do, this is how I work. However, someone who's worked for me 1 year, 2 years, we already know each other, we've gelled, I know their weaknesses, I know their strength. I'll be more focused on the results because I know whichever way they do find their way and they do deliver results. Yeah. And then my last piece of advice would be to keep yourself updated. Why? Because at the end of the day, people change, circumstances change. For example, the way COVID has really impacted on leadership. It has made people to it has demanded for us to communicate. It has demanded for us to involve other people. Yeah, look at even what the 2010 Constitution did. As a leader, you can't do things, just wake up in the morning and just do things the way you feel like. There's all this thing about public participation, bringing people together, getting to hear what their views are, what are their proposals. So get yourself updated, get to know what's happening. Attend courses. For example, here we offer a leadership course at Corporate Staffing Services. Yeah, attend. We do have an evening course, or we can customize it for your organization. And here we get to share what's the latest in terms of leadership. And you get to hear from this manager and this other one. And that's the way now you grow, because you're getting to hear of different views, you know, and you're remaining relevant and up to date, as opposed to you just sitting in your office and assuming that whatever you are doing matches the best practices. Yeah. So those are the three things. Get to know yourself, then vary your leadership style with the employees, having understood the employees themselves also. And the last one is obviously keeping yourself updated with whatever is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so before you close, Wakio, mine is to congratulate Dr. William Ruto on him becoming the president, despite, as he says, the very many obstacles. And for me, what he needs to know that this is where now the work starts. So the campaign was just a matter of making promises. And the real test of a leader now is what he does now. It's not so much about the promises that he made. We are going to judge him by the results. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for your viewpoint as a leader on this case study.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you for watching. For more leadership tips from a qualified leader, please subscribe to the channel. See you next time.